found it super fascinating, this old media, new media, the whole concept. But you brought up a point, Marcus, kind of characterizing, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but characterizing some of the players as maybe being too sensitive, right? Even maybe with how Kevin Durant responded to Charles Barkley as an example. If that's fair, I want to give JJ a chance to respond to that sentiment.
I'm happy to hear what else Marcus has to say on that. I wanted to sort of bring up a point that I should have made in the first hour when I talked about the three different areas of media, right? We have traditional media, we have the aggregate media, we have social media where everybody's got a platform. We tend to, as athletes, lump all of those three components of media together now. And so when we sort of say, I don't like the media, well, what are you really saying? Because, like, I don't think any athletes like aggregate media. I don't think a lot of athletes like social media. Traditional media, like, I had a great relationship with all the beat writers, with all the columnists in every city I played with. I had a great relationship with all the national writers. Like, I had no issue. They wrote terrible stuff about the 76. When I was with the 76ers, some of those guys wrote terrible stuff about me. When I was with the Clippers, they wrote terrible stuff about our team. They were doing their job. They were exactly. They were doing their job. I don't want to lump that together. There are certainly bad actors in traditional media. I'm not saying there's not. That's where I think some of the sensitivity comes. The other part of the sensitivity, you brought up a great point, which is all these conversations happening now on social media. That is what was happening in a barbershop. And so now players are privy to every conversation. A simple search of your name on Twitter, and you can see, we need to have a conversation about so-and-so. Click, read the replies. Not good for you. And so I think a lot of the sensitivity comes from those two things. It's the lumping of the media together, and then it's being privy to those barbershop conversations.
No doubt, JJ. And to your point, Molly, I'm glad you brought that back up because, sensitivity, everybody has a threshold, right? Everybody has something when I'm not going to allow you to associate my name or attach my name with something that's a falsehood or just a flat out lie, or you could be wrong without any malice intent. You have to try to figure out how to decipher it because that is going to ultimately determine how you react to whatever is written or said about you. JJ, I don't have a problem with guys being sensitive when it comes to protecting whatever their identity, their name, image, and likeness, their reputation, their brand. My issue becomes when you trying to mask it. Just say, look, bro, that made me, that either, if it didn't hurt you, it pissed you off, or it made me mad. And just say that. Say that made me mad. But stop, I see a lot of these guys and their responses. And I think for me, and what I've enjoyed about you being on television, dude, I respond how I respond on social media, how I'm going to respond to your face. That's how I respond if I'm going to respond to anybody. But I don't mask oh, that didn't bother me, that didn't get to me. If somebody says something from an intellectual, all of the stupidity, the hate, all of that really don't affect me. It affects some people. I'm talking about me personally. But ultimately, some things, when people say something that has intellectual context, or if they say something that sparks a thought, or if they say something you vehemently disagree with, but not trying to be disrespectful, I think at times that's cause for a conversation. That's cause to reach out and tap in with somebody and say, if I don't have their number, that's cause to tap in with them and say, look, man, you said this publicly, we're going to have this conversation.
But Mark,
I think a lot of times, though, these guys try to defend, they go against something bothering them and they try to, new media, these dudes hate us, the old heads. No, bro, you just don't like what a person says.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.